Are you sat there staring at a Google Ads account that used to work, wondering when it stopped, why your cost per lead keeps on climbing, and whether you've quietly broken something that you simply can't undo? The truth is that you haven't broken it. Google did, or more accurately, Google's recommendations did. The day that they pushed you into smart bidding before your account was ready. And you clicked yes because the dashboard said that your optimization score would drop if you didn't. And guys, I wish this wasn't true, but it is. That one click is costing accounts $40,000 a year. $40,000 a time. I've cleaned up 3 of them already this year. There are 4 questions that you should have answered before you switched over. If you didn't, and almost nobody does, you're inside the window where Maximise Conversions stops scaling accounts and starts detonating them. I'll give you all 4 in the next 8 minutes. Quick context, I'm Mike. I run Ad Trainer, Google Premier Partner Agency, 14 years in the Google Ads space, over $130 million managed. This is a lesson that I learned the hard way on accounts that were a lot bigger than yours. Question 1, the boring one, and it's the one that nobody wants to hear because it's uncomfortable. Do you have at least 6 months of stable conversion data? If the answer is no, stop looking at the recommendations tab, stop picking up the phone to the Google reps, just stop, wait. I had an e-commerce client doing $30,000 a month spend last year. The account was beautifully structured, the performance was strong. 4 months in, the rep called, pushed Maximise Conversion Value with a target ROAS of 4. We waited. The account hit month 6, conversion data was stable, then we switched. Within 4 weeks, ROAS climbed from 380 to 510. And guys, look, I understand the logic. You're thinking, well, if you'd have made the same change at month 3, then you would have just made more money for 3 months. But the same switch at month 3 would have crashed the account hard. I've watched it happen on numerous accounts myself, and we inherit accounts all of the time at AdTrain that suffer from this exact problem. Smart bidding is an algorithm, but algorithms need volume, and if you don't have it, you're not optimizing. You're handing Google the wheel and hoping. Google's dashboard will tell you that you're ready. The rep will tell you that you're ready. And God forbid that the optimization score will drop 10 points if you don't apply the recommendation. Ignore all of it. That's the first reason that most accounts go backwards after switching. But the thing is, it's not the biggest one. The biggest one is what people use to make the decision in the first place. The second question is, are you making the decision off of larger chunks of data? Because 6 to 12 weeks is the absolute minimum. Weekly averages, not daily. If the answer is no, you're simply reading noise. Smart bidding is volatile by design. You hand control to Google, and Google bids harder on the days it thinks will convert and pulls back on the days that it doesn't. It sounds good in theory, but your daily spend will swing 30%, sometimes 50%. That's not a bug. That's the strategy doing what it's meant to do. And if you're staring at a 7-day window, you're going to panic at the wrong time. I had a coaching client a few months back convinced his account was broken. Cost per acquisition had gone from $80 to $140 in 7 days. Wanted to revert changes. I pulled the 12-week view. The weekly average CPA was 74. The broken week was inside normal variance. The week before it had been 52. And the reason this is so dangerous is because he was about to undo a working strategy because he was looking at the wrong time frame. So unless your campaign is completely tanking, you give it 6 weeks of data minimum. If it's tanking, I'd check your conversion tracking, but you look at a weekly average. Compare week on week, month on month, not day on day. If your weekly conversions are swinging more than 20 to 30% in either direction, you're not ready to make this decision yet. You're still in the volatile zone. And that's the data side. But there's a second thing that people get wrong with their targets, and it actively breaks your account. Guys, quick one just before I keep going. Open your Google Ads account right now, go to your top spending search campaign and look at the bid strategy. If it says max conversions or maximize conversion value, drop the campaign age in the comments. 3 months, 6 months, 12 months. I'll tell you whether you switch too early because I've seen this exact pattern across hundreds of accounts, and there's a specific month where it stops being a gamble and starts being a strategy. Question 3, and this one costs people the most money, right? Is your target ROAS or target CPA based on what your account is actually doing? Or is it what you wish it was doing? If it's the second one, your campaign is strangling itself and you don't even know it yet. Listen, I get it. People run Google Ads because they want to make money. But when you're talking about making money on Google Ads, there's an investment up front. There's a cost of sale. So you're in a position where you have to balance profitability. It might not be your most profitable channel, but if you're generating a significant profit and you have lifetime value attached to your client base, for example, all of those things need to be weighed into the cost. A real life business example. Last quarter, I audited a Google Ads account that was spending $8,000 a month. Real ROAS, it was sitting at $290. The owner had a target ROAS of 600% because that was his profit goal that he'd made up. Spend dropped 70% in 4 weeks, conversions collapsed. He thought Google Ads was failing him. Google Ads wasn't failing him. He'd simply put a handbrake on the campaign and called it a goal. And I also get this, that as a business owner, when you're in this position, it's difficult. You want to hit a certain ROAS. You say, hey, I want to hit this target ROAS, so that's what I said it as. But here's what people don't understand. A target ROAS isn't a target, it's a constraint. You're telling Google, don't show this ad to anyone whose predicted return is below this number. The further you set it from your real performance, the more impressions Google has to throw away. Eventually, there's nothing left to bid on. The rule is simple. Look at your weekly average over the last 8 weeks. Set the target at that number. You can slightly increase targets over time to get where you want to be, but you need to ratchet it up by 5 to 10% every so often. The campaign moves with you. It doesn't get strangled. And your business could be going through this right now because aspirational targets are how good campaigns die. Doesn't matter how good the business is, doesn't matter how good the product is. Realistic ones are how good campaigns scale over time. But there's still one thing that breaks smart bidding faster than a bad target. And almost everyone does it on the same day that they switch. Once you've made the change to smart bidding, can you leave the account alone for 4 weeks after you switch? No budget changes, no large tweaks, no panic reverts on day 9. If the answer is no, then you're not ready to switch. Simple as that. There's 2 parts to this one. The first one is never change the bid strategy and the budget on the same day. I had a SaaS client last spring, 12,000 monthly spend, performing well. We were ready to switch them to Maximise Conversion Value. The same week, the founder approved a budget increase to $20,000 a month. So, effectively, he wanted his cake and he wanted to eat it from a Google Ads perspective. He wanted both at once. I made the call to split it. Bidding switch went in week 1. Budget increase landed like in 3-4 weeks after that. The account ramped up cleanly to $20,000 a month. Picture if I just stack them up. Budget jump triggers a learning phase. Bidding switch triggers a separate learning phase. 2 compounding variables. Google algorithm is going wild trying to recalibrate against both at once. Performance crashes and you can't tell which change broke it. You can't roll one back without affecting the other. Most advertisers panic, revert everything and blame the platform. And that's why for businesses like yours, I run these in sequence, always. A minimum of 2 weeks between either change, ideally a month, 4 weeks. The second part of this, though, is once you do make the switch, give it 4 weeks before you touch anything else. Not 48 hours, not 7 days, 4 weeks. Smart bidding's first fortnight is almost always a little bit ugly, frankly. CPCs spike, they're all over the place, conversions go quiet for a few days maybe. The spending pattern looks erratic. Your gut will tell you to revert it, believe me. Don't. I've watched advertisers reverse a winning strategy on day 9 because the data looked wrong. But the data wasn't wrong. The algorithm was learning. By week 3, the curve almost always corrects. So guys, daily budgets in Google Ads are calculated as monthly averages. Smart bidding is making month-shaped decisions while you're staring at a day-to-day shaped chart. It doesn't make sense. You're reading the wrong scale. 4 weeks, no exceptions. If it's still bad at week 5, then act. You're not running Google Ads anymore. You need to start looking at it as a system. You're running a system. 4 questions, 6 months of data, 6-week windows, honest targets, 4 weeks of patience. Really difficult patience, by the way, but patience. Most advertisers will switch to smart bidding because Google told them to. They'll set a target based on a wish. They'll bump up the budget on the same day and they'll panic on day 9 and revert. 6 weeks later, they'll quietly turn the whole thing off and tell themselves that the platform doesn't work anymore. Now you've seen this video, you won't make that mistake. If you've enjoyed this video, I post twice a week. Go and check this video out here. It will significantly help your business. I'll catch you in the next one.